Maher is my name. We're in Coolini, it's just outside Thurles in County Tipperary. We farm 300 acres, dairy farm, so we produce all our own replacement stock and then use the milk then to produce the cheese on the farm. Going into the cheese allowed an opportunity to grow. There was quota available in a different quota pool which allowed to grow the business and increase the cow numbers. It started my mother making cheese in the back kitchen, but I remember when I was small, cheese was made 3 days a week and she spent 3 days a week on the road. As we grew up, I suppose we all helped. We all went to different shows and we all helped promote the cheese, and as we could drive, we got jobs delivering and doing tastings and promotions in store. I had 3 sisters, all born and raised here on the farm. As soon as you're able to do something, you were kept busy, kept us out of mischief. But I suppose as a teenager, as you get older and get more useful and you have a license to drive and kind of work machinery, then I suppose it got more serious. Someone told me once I was bred to do this job, but I always had an interest in farming. I love farming, I like cows, I love working with cows. I went to agricultural college after school, always wanted to do that, and I did farm management with the Farm Apprenticeship Board, and I suppose from then on I took it kind of more serious. I got involved in the cheese den for a number of years after coming back. There was a man here working with my father, so I had a little bit of experience there. I travelled a bit selling the cheese and making the cheese, and got involved in that side of it as well. But today I'm focused kind of more so on the dairy side, on the cow side. I'm the 4th generation, so it was my grandfather's uncle who bought this farm or came on it first. So he's been here, then passed on to my grandfather, down to my father and myself. So there's currently 3 generations here at the minute, my parents and my kids. Paul and Ruth and Martha. Paul is 8, Ruth is 6 and Martha is 4. And Paul and Ruth are born in Vietnam. We adopted the 2 kids. Paul was adopted in 2006 and Ruth in 2008. And then Martha was a little surprise in 2010. My wife Johanna is a nurse. Johanna was born on a dairy farm nearby here, so I was well used to dairy farm and dairy life. At the moment they all love coming up, helping out, feeding calves, driving tractors and anything as possible. So we'll see how they all are in 10 years' time. So. My father basically signed over a lot of the land to me, some of the land to me, basically to run the dairy farm. And we were doing it together in a partnership. And then from this year on, I'm farming on my own. It's my own business as such. I've set up my own company to produce the milk. You have to be able to run it very much like a business. It's not something you'll carry on as was always done. It's nowadays, even running it today, you have more rules and regulations and requirements to meet. It's very much a business, and I enjoy that side of it. So, I mean, succession after me then, I mean, we'll see where we go. I have 3 kids and we'll see who's interested. And at the moment, they all love coming up, helping out. It's only in the last 5 years that the cheese has gone big enough that it's taken the majority of the milk. So up to that, it was the other way around. Majority was going to the co-op and less to the cheese. You have more control over the price you get for your milk, but it's still determined by market forces. I mean, if the commercial price of milk changes a lot and puts pressure on the market, the buyers don't want to pay as much for the cheese. It has worked, it has allowed us to develop and grow the farm, but at a very serious cost. Time and effort, energy, finance, everything. It's been big work, to develop what it is today. And without that work, it wouldn't have materialised to what it is either, So it might have been easier to buy land and quota somewhere and go to 200 cows without having to develop a cheese business. But life is much more interesting, I think, with a cheese business. You're getting out and about, getting to meet people, getting to travel the world, and you're involved in the business side of life, not just farming on your own at home.
My name is James Mullane and I'm a dairy advisor in the South Tipperary and North Tipperary region. Well, I suppose one of the main pitfalls with diversification in terms of the Coolini cheese business, Pat is already running a farm full time, and then when you look at the cheese side of it as well, it takes up a lot of time securing markets and developing relationships with customers, making sure that you meet customer requirements, that you keep everyone happy along the supply chain on it. I suppose there's a lot of investment as well has to go into the diversification process on the farm, and there is a risk involved in that.
It's nice to see where your milk goes. So as you'll see from the grass into the cow, and you make your cheese and onto the shelf. You can see the whole line. You've got control over it, and it gives a great interest into what we do, and I suppose a bit more pride and a bit more importance of what we do. Well, we hope to maintain and grow the cheese business. We would hope to keep it on farm. It's important that it's a farmhouse business. If you're not keeping up with customers and their needs, they kind of leave you back. And that's generally the way we try to run our business. You know, we try and do what the customers want, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that pay the bills. You know, so all we need is the price to stay right. We start calving generally end of August, beginning of September, through until the end of March. So you're calving kind of 6 months of the year, 6 months of the year. And the whole idea is just to have all year-round supply of milk. It's nicer because we allow the cows calve at outside, so it's easier to see. The cows are more comfortable calving outside. You know, weather is nicer in general, more natural, and they tend to have less trouble. If the cow is kept full and happy, you'll be able to pay your bills, and so if you keep the cow happy, generally everything else will fall into place. We keep all the female calves and tend to sell all the male calves, and cow goes back into the milking herd and for milking. So I'm trying to produce maybe 2,500–3,000 litres a day into the cheese. That's kind of the aim. So in order to do that, you have to calve enough cows. It's a busy life here because we're calving all year round. It's constant. You don't get the breaks maybe that other farmers do, but I was born and bred into it, so that's all I know at the minute, you know. So I enjoy it. I love what I do, and hope to keep it going as long as we can. When you're working on a farm like this, work is a big part of life, but outside of here, hurling is very important at the minute. So we're waiting to beat Kilkenny in the All-Ireland in a couple of weeks' time. That's very important.